If it's knowledge, humour, or a different perspective that you seek, look for the wisdom in the words that we speak. Words and wisdom. We'll let you decide. Hello and welcome to the Words and Wisdom podcast with me, Rhythmical Mike, and
Zach Andrew Purdy.
You're brilliant. And today we're going to be talking about love, a very aloof topic there. I've not wrote anything down because I thought I was going to come from the heart instead.
Oh, look at that smooth criminal. Smooth.
I've never said that
criminal.
before either. That's a brand new off the cuff thing.
Yeah. We didn't discuss this before the podcast
Didn't
at
plan
all.
it.
No. Plan it.
Zach, you're somebody that loves to love, I've heard.
I've got a funny view, an opinion on love. Okay, so this is my opinion and my belief, and doesn't mean that it's right. So anyone, I hope I don't offend anybody. If I do, I love you.
This is the end of our relationship together, isn't it? This is
The
end of
podcast has just shut down.
Yeah.
So I believe that from a young age, we're conditioned to believe what love is through things like Disney films.
Yeah.
Through seeing our mums and dads, depending on how they act out of love, shall we call it. And I believe that I've got this belief that we've got it wrong in a way, because we've got love. We almost act out that love is, you can only have it for one or two people. Like, you love your mum, your grandma, your granddad, your dad, whatever. Then you have love for your partner. But I think we've got it a little bit twisted. I don't think that is love. I think love is for everybody and everyone in certain ways. Like I love you.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you. I love Chrissy in a certain way. I've got a love for everybody, and I think the whole finding your true love is a strange view. Like, I believe that you can. I think this is the problem when this happens. Okay. You fall in love with somebody. And falling isn't nice anyway.
I don't like that expression, to be fair. I've heard that before.
So you fall in love with someone. Now the problem is unconditional love means that you love said person without expecting anything in return. It's basically the unconditional. You love somebody without condition.
Yeah.
The problem is we expect too much from the other person. So, like, I love this person, but I expect her to wash the dishes. I expect him to cuddle me when I want.
Yeah.
I expect this, and this. We don't really take into account how the other person is feeling as such. That kind of ruins the whole idea of unconditional love, and you then don't love that person anymore because you're expecting too much. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Totally understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So, like, and it's a hard thing to do. It's something I've had to learn. I was always addicted to love. I think you can get addicted to love as well.
That's powerful. It's serotonin, dopamine,
oxytocin, all of those, mate, all of those. And you get addicted to it to the point where if someone shows you the slightest bit of attention, you can be like, oh, I love that person, and now I'm in love with that person, and now I want that person, and that's mine.
Possessiveness.
Yeah, and then when they say, whoa, what's going on, you get heartbroken.
I've heard, only on that possessiveness there, like, I've heard love, if you repress the feelings of love and don't let them emerge naturally, repress feelings like that will turn to possessiveness.
Right, okay.
It's a story that I can definitely vouch on and been a part of. So
definitely, give us that story.
Just love for me has become something I've had to really work out for myself. And love is, I totally agreed with everything you said then, to be honest. Like, you've got it for everybody, everything, and I think there's different levels and layers of love. So for the love I feel for you, and I do, God damn it, I feel that love.
Brotherly love.
Is a completely different love that I feel for Chrissy, which thank God for that.
Yeah, that would be strange. But we did kiss around the back.
God damn. And I built up a very unnatural, repressed feelings for love. I never have it as a kid. I was searching for it for God so long, desperate for it. And then when it did come around the corner and somebody did show affection to me, I was like, I want everything there. I want you. I want everything. And I got possessive. I wasn't as terrible as the stories of what you hear, X, Y, and Z, but I was enough to, like, be uncontrolling and unmanageable.
Here's the thing: when you're obsessive and so in love with that person, and they do something that isn't to your liking, all of a sudden they have hurt you. Well, no, you've allowed yourself to be hurt by being so addicted and obsessed with this.
And
this
again,
thing.
like a friend of mine had said before, like when you see a flower, what do? You look at it and appreciate it and let it be its thing, or do you pick it and then let it die?
Boom.
And it couldn't be in a better metaphor there.
100%.
And I've done that before, and I've been with people as well. So I think you attract that in people, and they, I was 14 when I got that tattoo.
Do you know? And that's the craziest thing, because that's the girl that we both was.
I didn't know that was a thing, until like later on. She told me about that, and I was like, I don't know.
Here's a story for you guys. I met this girl. We had sex at her house. Seen her for a little bit. I let her go, and then I saw Mikey with her walking down the street of Ripley. This is a few months after, obviously. Everything had blown out, and I was like, oh, but there was no. We both knew. I think we both knew at that point, and.
I didn't know you'd been with... No.
At that point. And
not that I'm going to cry now.
No. Obviously, we was young. We was 18, 19, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I would think I was maybe even a bit younger, like
Possibly.
17.
Possibly. And we walked past each other, and I knew that, and you was like, hi, up Zach. And I was like, hey, Mikey, I think that's how we kind of almost first met. It was on the night of the fair.
I know where you're at. Yeah, definitely.
Outside Conkers. And there was no animosity, even though we've both been with the same woman. But we've both been with the same woman.
And well, she explained that to me as well, and like, oh yeah, I seen him like a few months ago, and me and that person had just got together really. So you'd see me in a different time schedule.
Yeah.
But after a while, me and her become very obsessive about one another. So we got our names tattooed, and we're like. Printed ourselves like I am yours, you are mine, and that because I'd not learned any other way. Like it happened, and we both actually reciprocated it, and I had to break it off with her in the end. And my coping mechanisms weren't doing the normal job of going and meeting them and doing all that. I went to Australia and just got out of there because I was panicking. I was like, I don't want to hurt somebody. I don't want to hurt their feelings, emotions.
And we shouldn't. Yeah, it's a funny. Like I'm not a love expert. I'm not a relationship expert. But I just know that there's a certain type of love out there that I've got to give, and I believe in relationships. Okay, I'm not saying that I don't believe that we shouldn't be in relationships. I believe that relationships are you're definitely able to have them, but you both need to be hugely self-aware of your own flaws, your own benefits, but definitely your flaws, because we tend to point the finger and say, you need to do this and you need to change, but we don't look at what we need to change.
Sure.
And simply by doing that, we're attacking that person. It's going to create some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Some kind of like negative
conflict.
Conflict is the word I'm looking for.
I should have helped you out a lot earlier on then, but
thank you, Mike. Yeah.
Seeing your struggle there.
So yeah, we create conflict, but by saying, okay, we're in a relationship, yeah?
Thank God.
You can be Michaela. And I say to you, Michaela, I know that I need to start doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to try and work on it. Then you're like, oh, wow, maybe you say, well, I think I need to work on something. And that's how a relationship is. It's two people working out their flaws and how to get better together.
And that's a version of how I think it can be. Another version for me that I feel has really worked is where, and I don't want to sound like a walking cliche all the time, but love yourself first.
100%.
And that was where it all come from. Like, again, these unnatural relationships I had, I was with said person, I hurt a few girls' hearts in my time, and I was just running around willy-nilly and doing my thing, and I was hurting people. I got the hurtest. I got the most hurt I could ever be after I found someone I fell in love with and deep, and it was an emotional roller coaster, and I give all them unnatural sides of myself, and they all come out, and eventually she was like, no, I'm gone. She actually left me a note on my pillow and I never saw her again, and it was just, again, somebody going...
film.
Yeah, it really was. She's seen too much Hollywood. And she left this note, deleted my number, blocked me, and there was just nothing I could claw at. It was just gone. And that broke me in two. I went through everything here, but I did also go on the self-love, the journey, the spiritualism, the whatever it was in finding who I was as a person after that. I truly do believe I got to a stage of like finding comfort in myself, finding comfort in being on my own, finding comfort in so many things. And it really did happen where I met Chrissy, I met my partner, and she'd been on a very similar journey. And we fell in love with ourselves first. We were like, great. And we weren't doing these unnatural, like, got to be with each other 24/7, can't be without one another, sending like...
Can I just interrupt you, Mike?
Yeah, of course,
on
man.
On the self-love, right? And it's so, like you say, it's kind of cheesy and cliche, but if you don't love yourself, nobody can love you. But the truth is as well, is if you don't love yourself, you're trying to find somebody to fill that gap. But no one can ever fill that gap, ever. This is when you're expecting, because we're going back to expectations. So by you completely falling in love with who you are, and what you are, and everything about you, you can then say, I have now got a full cup of love to give another person. Whereas before, your cup's empty. You can't give anything. You're just trying to take. And when you try and take, it becomes toxic. So it is. And if you don't love yourself, you need to start loving yourself.
And before, when I was in relationships, again, I will come on to other types of love, and that's what I'm saying with layers, but this was such a profound one and self. We were trying to fix one another. I was like, I'll fix them aspects in you, you'll fix them. It just didn't work until I did it for myself, until I wanted to do it all for self reason, because I wanted to be a better person, and Chris had been on that path. We got together and we're like, this is easy, like, I'm really comfortable. You go do your thing, I'll go do mine, we'll get back together, and we're just happy. And honestly, like, I'm not saying it's all been sweet rainbows and butterflies and everything. There's been tricky parts.
Occasional turd in there.
yeah. There's been parts in a relationship where you can say a turd's been around, but it very lightly.
And that's going to happen. But if you are a good couple and you can communicate well, and you trust each other, you can deal with those turds as they come.
And I love the analogy even more with the turd at the end. And the two words were so perfect, and then you said turd, and I was like, well, yeah, really.
You mentioned other types of love, Mikey.
So again, it's just what you share with your friends, what you share with your family. It is unconditional. I think there's a base form of love that I put into everything, and your passion, your interests, your thirst for life. Love it, embrace it, allow it.
So would you say that there's different types of love, or would you say that there's only one type of love, but we just put add-ons to it? Like, for instance, sex is an intimate moment is something you share with a partner. Yeah. You don't want to share that with me.
No, not yet, baby.
Can you blame him? Yeah. No, but seriously, like, maybe it's just because I feel. I mean, you get urges of love, like me and you. We share these urges of love. You probably share something similar with Chrissy, but it's just that there's a different connotation on it, or different. It's like add-ons, bolt-ons. This is the love, the circle. Let's call it a circle, a sphere of energy. But we just add different bolt-ons for each individual.
I completely love what you're saying there, to be honest, man. And again, I'll equate Chrissy as well with you, and my best mate and my family.
Orgy.
We'll go through times, and Chrissy will do something hilarious, and I'll just get this feeling, and I just want to laugh, and I'm laughing till my belly hurts, and it's a feeling. And you could do that, and Jagger could do that, and my dad could do that, and it's a feeling you get, and that's love. Like, you're just like, oh.
And like you said, you can get it. What did you say? You can get it for your hobby and your passion.
Yeah.
And it's the same feeling.
You know when it comes, and it is a feeling. So there's love there, and then, like you say, the little add-ons of like sexually attractive and sharing a close, intimate connection, like having sex with somebody and really being attracted to them in the moment. It's a different feeling that I get.
Maybe that's why people cheat, because they've got this feeling of love for somebody where they connect with them, which is fine. I mean, we're going to have that. Unless you sit in a cave with your partner, you are going to have connections with other people. But then we think it's a sexual connection, because that's the primate thing. Yeah. And then when we do that cheating, I've cheated before and I'm not proud of it. You realize who you actually want to be with in a partnership. Yeah. And it's the person, obviously, that you're in a relationship with. But it's like, wow, why did I do that? Yeah. Why did I have sex with someone? Because you get confused on the certain types, on the love, if that makes sense.
I totally get that, and I suppose that would bring in a lot of layers, because again, sometimes it's just acting on complete primatal instinct. Yeah. It's just going, I need a thing, I need a thirst, I'm gonna act, and that's the thing. And I've got friends that have had really good upbringings, and that I want everyone to have had a good upbringing. I don't see that in a bitter way. I've got people that have, oh, you've had it easy, you've had it. I'm like, why are you talking in that way to that person that's had it easy? Can't we all have it easy? So I want everyone to be a winner. Yeah. But I've definitely got friends that have had a really loving, nurturing mum, really calming dad, and you can just see it in them. And this friend knows who I'm talking about, really. and he has turned out to be a really solid character. He's in relationships. He's never really struggled. He's never had imbalances of how he projects his love and who he shows it to. He's just calm, like really relaxed. And them scars that you're given from having a tricky time as a child will bring out the worst in that in you.
Definitely.
So it's just being attuned to that, being conscious of that, and knowing your scars.
Which is why counselling helps. Relationship.
Yeah.
Because it brings out, it lets you know why you might act a certain way from. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier at the start about we're conditioned to love in a certain way. Because if we've grown up with a mum and dad, I mean, my stepdad, he's a good bloke. He's done good things, but he cheated on my mum several times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe through me experiencing that and feeling that and being around that, that's kind of how I acted out of unconsciousness.
Nature and nurture.
I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying that, and it is true. It's a shame that we're almost cursed.
But I people worry about excusing themselves a bit, and yeah, you shouldn't just be able to make a mistake all the time and then excuse it. But finding reason is okay. I saw this quote yesterday where it was like, there's a madness in reason, and there's a reason to madness.
Yeah.
And again, there is a reason behind everything. Every steps we take, every move we make. I'm going into Sting now, but it does happen for a reason. So you are allowed to reflect back into your life. Go, why am I the way I am?
Yeah.
Why do I project myself in this way?
And how can I fix it?
And what can I do about it? Because it is like cheating. It does affect your life negatively. You got to be spinning plates in your mind. You got to be lying.
I think what it does to the other person. Because then you're altering their perception of what love is.
Yeah.
Like I cheated on somebody, and I think I was like a first love and whatever, and then that almost ruined. You know, it put her in a certain way of thinking about love, and maybe that's affected her relationship. So I've got to take responsibility for that as well. So yeah, love. What a crazy thing.
Have you got any beautiful quotes or beautiful summaries towards love? Because I know that's what we like to do.
The end of the podcast, we like to give a powerful quote, and I like the quote. You always gain by giving love, and it's so true. Like you shouldn't ever expect anything. It's what we've been talking about. But if I love you with expecting nothing in return, I'm going to get a powerful connection, and that's going to lead on to other things. Hopefully not, intimate moments, but it's going to lead on to other things like this podcast. So we give love to everybody. I give love to absolutely everybody, my clients, my family, and I'm learning to love people as well. But you will receive something, even if it's just a good feeling. You always gain by giving love. Thank you for listening.
Gain by giving love.
Rhythmical Mike, Instagram, The Old Farm Bus, YouTube, and podcasts, obviously Words and Wisdom, and Zap Coaching for all your fitness and mental coaching and transformational needs.
Peace and love, guys. Peace and love.